From CBS4, your news this morning starts right now.
Big changes this morning as the UK votes to leave the European Union. Prime Minister David Cameron says that he will resign. What you need to know coming up. And here at home, it is a busy weekend in downtown Indianapolis. Everything you want to know, plus how to navigate it all, in just a few minutes. And good morning. It is shaping up to be a busy Friday. It is June 24th with Tim Doty and Marianne Lyles. I'm Nicole Pence.
And we are following developing stories this morning, including the major announcement out of the United Kingdom.
We'll tell you what that means for your money. But before we get to that, a quick look at weather on this Friday. Here's Guardian radar, not like yesterday. Nice and dry as we start off, and it's warm still. We'll take a look at your Friday temperatures. How hot will be this weekend in just about 4 minutes. But breaking overnight within just the last 90 minutes, British Prime Minister David Cameron announcing that he is resigning. It comes after a majority of British voters decided to leave the European Union. Cameron says Britain needs fresh leadership.
To try to be the captain that steers our country to its next destination.
So here's what's next. Cameron will meet with the British cabinet on Monday. He will stay on for at least the next 3 months. He expects a new prime minister to take over by October. And after Britain's EU departure vote, stocks are taking a hit across Europe and Asia this morning. The British pound is already down to its lowest value in more than 30 years. The Nikkei dropped about 8%, its biggest fall since 2008. This means that when the U.S. markets open up today, the Dow is likely to have a significant drop.
501 and a developing story that we are following right here at home. Police are investigating a body found on the southeast side of Indianapolis. You can see on the map where this person was found near the intersection of Troy Avenue and Senior Road. Police say this is a woman's body. Someone called it in after midnight. Right now, detectives are calling this a death investigation, but we do know homicide detectives are also at that scene. When we find out more information, we will let you know right here on CBS4 This Morning.
And people on Indy's south side are looking for a place to stay right now after an overnight fire here on Alabama Street. 2 adjoining homes caught fire around 2 a.m. Crews say one of the people living in one of the units alerted their neighbors to the fire. Everybody was able to make it out quickly and safely. No word yet on what caused that fire in the first place. And the Indianapolis Public School Board will decide whether an assistant principal will keep his job after being caught up in the middle of a sex scandal. A termination hearing for assistant principal Bill Jensen was held last night. He was the first to know about allegations that claim that Shanna Taylor, a counselor, was having sex with a student. The district waited almost a week to report it to police. CBS 4's Jessica Hayes will join us live at 5:30 for the very strong words that Jensen's attorney has about this.
It is 5:03 on your Friday, and 200,000 people will pack downtown Indy for a weekend full of events. And if you're one of those people, parking and traffic could be a problem. CBS 4's Kyle Inskeep is live on Monument Circle with the best ways to get around downtown this weekend. Kyle, so much going on. Justin Bieber in town. Can I just remind everybody about that? I'm kind of excited.
Are you a believer, Nicole? I could see that. You definitely strike me as someone that would be a believer. I'm a fan myself. Well, as you said, there are going to be several road closures in and around downtown Indy this weekend. Most notably is probably the one behind me here on Monument Circle. It's going to be closed through Sunday afternoon for the Road to Rio tour. So the big thing that city officials are stressing right now is know before you go. Now here is a map from Visit Indy. It actually shows where all the events downtown this weekend are taking place. There's too many to list them all, but some of the highlights include the U.S. Conference of Mayors, as Nicole and I were just talking about, the Justin Bieber concert happening Saturday at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. There's multiple Indians games, and then of course the Olympic diving trials. So in addition to all the road closures, parking is also a big concern. Downtown Indy estimates there are more than 73,000 parking spots in the area. All of those will likely be filled this weekend. To help make room for all the extra vehicles, the city is asking people who work downtown for some help.
It's going to be a busy weekend for IMPD. Just a couple things we want to remind you of is if you work downtown tomorrow, if you're leaving, make sure you come to work early. If you can leave a little bit early, that will help as well.
And here's another parking tip for you. If you can avoid parking in the center of downtown, do that. The price will likely be higher at garages here than if you can park a few blocks away. And then the wait to get in a garage right here in the heart of downtown is typically longer as well. And city leaders really want to be sure that everyone gives themselves plenty of time to get wherever it is you're going downtown this weekend. Also, they're saying if you plan on eating in this area, be ready to wait. Those wait times are expected to be much longer than usual. Reporting live downtown this morning, Kyle Linsky, CBS4 News.
And some big names will be appearing at the U.S. Conference of Mayors here in Indy. Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton will attend the conference, along with Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer. Now, he'll talk about the impact of the nightclub shooting and how the community responded then. Now, the Dalai Lama and Lady Gaga will also address the U.S. Conference of Mayors here in Indy. The Dalai Lama will deliver keynote remarks focusing on the global significance of building compassionate cities. Lady Gaga will then join him for a Q&A session.
Today will feel much more comfortable as compared to yesterday. You'll definitely notice a difference as you step out the door this morning. Also starting off a lot more quiet. We're entirely dry on Live Guardian radar. We will be dry for the rest of today, but where we had the heaviest rainfall yesterday, we're waking up to some fog out the door this morning. This is primarily south and east of Indianapolis, Shelbyville, down to 1.5 miles. We'll continue to monitor that on the 4s for the next couple of hours. Dew points have come down overnight. That's signaling humidity has come down as well. These numbers were in the 70s yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, we had heat indices around 100 degrees, and we will not be dealing with that today. Much more comfortable, but the heat and humidity does return for the upcoming weekend. Storms and our next chance for rain is on Sunday. Humidity will start to drop again Monday, and we're talking highs in the 70s by the time we head into the middle of next week. So we have a hot and humid weekend in store, but then we're going the complete opposite direction by the middle of next week. It's 68 in Indy, 71 Bloomington, 69 degrees in Zionsville, and we're talking seasonal highs for your Friday. 84 for the day today, a lot less humid than yesterday, very comfortable. We'll have an hour-by-hour look at those storm chances for Sunday coming up at 5:14. Bill?
Traffic and weather on the 4s, and we look at the first problem in downtown Indianapolis, or at least a little bit to the west side. You saw some speeds about where they should be. This is along 16th Street, just a bit east of Tibbs Avenue, out towards the Speedway area. Overnight road work wrapping up along westbound 70, Royal Keystone here in about a half hour or so. There you see some of the barrels tucked in on the left side. And we move down to another work zone along 65 in the Franklin area. Moving along right now, but a little bit slower.
5:07 and cleanup continues in central Indiana this morning after severe storms left some significant damage behind. You can see all the trees. Many residents in Brookston and White County are still without power this morning. Winds there were clocked at more than 100 miles per hour. Now, emergency management says that there wasn't a single tree or street without a downed tree right after the storm.
We were actually trapped by a tree down here and trapped by a tree over here. So the neighborhood had to cut their way out this morning. We couldn't get out of the neighborhood.
There's a shelter open at the Red Cross at the Federated Church on South Wood Street in Brookston. Crews are asking for your help, though. They ask that you bring a saw and report to the Mobile Operations Center at State Road 18 and South Wood Street.
Well, this is kind of fun. Indy Mayor Joe Hogsett will try his hand at a different job today. He'll be taking on fire and rescue drills with the Professional Firefighters Union. Mayor Hogsett is just one of more than a dozen mayors across the country participating in Fire Ops 101. He'll put on all the gear that's up to 60 extra pounds on his back, and he'll fight some fires. We'll be sure to let you know how he does, and we'll probably even try to get some video of him being a firefighter today. It is 5:08 on your Friday. Thanks for waking up with us. A busy night for the Pacers, but not in the way many fans were expecting.
The big draft night trade and the two new players who will take the floor at Bankers Life next season. And we're getting some new information about Donald Trump's potential vice presidential candidates. The information his former campaign manager is giving out in his new job. And these wedding photos look pretty normal, right? Wait until you see what happens after this couple gets a surprising and slithering visitor.
And everybody's favorite little yellow guy is coming back to the big screen. It is one of my weekend picks. Minions is the first of this year's movies in the park at Asa Bales Park in Westfield. It is free. Just bring a blanket or some chairs, and don't forget the popcorn, of course. Parking is available at Westfield High School just across the street. Starts just after sunset tonight.